Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these cool flat but 3D animals. You can see here I've made a kitty cat and you're going to be able to make whatever animal you like. And we're going to be doing this on our Tinkercad software. I talked a little bit about that software in a previous video, so check that one out just to kind of learn the basics of how Tinkercad works and make sure, of course, to sign up for a free account with them. So let's go ahead and jump to our Tinkercad. Here we've got our Tinkercad work plane, just like normal. But for this project, what we're going to do, instead of working in millimeters, which is the default sizing for our work plane, we're going to work in inches. And this is really great because this is a question I've been getting from a lot of folks out there doing the 3D programs. Um, if you need to switch to inches, and for this project, we're going to work in inches, what you'll need to do is go down to the bottom right corner, right here in very light font, it says Edit Grid. Let's go ahead and click that. We're going to change the default from millimeters into inches. All right, and I'm going to update the grid. And I'm going to check my snap grid now is at 1/8 of an inch. That's exactly what I want. So snap grid will actually help move our shapes exactly onto those little lines that you see here. So every time I move this box, it's going to jump right to those lines. It's not going to let me stop halfway. I don't need this box right now, so I'm going to delete it. All right, so the first thing we need to do when we make this flat but 3D animal is think about what animal we want to create. Now I've made a little cat here, but I think today I'm going to make a dog. So a little dog to be friends with my cat. And the first thing I'm going to do is make a sketch of that animal. All right, so I've got a piece of scrap paper here. I'm going to draw my animal. And when I draw this animal, I don't want to get very detailed with it. I just want to create a very simple shape because you can see our animal is very simple. So we're going to create a very simple, just kind of image of a doggy, and we're going to use just basic shapes. So for its head, I'm going to use a circle. And for its body, I'm going to use like an oval, right? Now, these don't have to be perfect drawings. I just want an idea of what I want to build. So I've got a circle for a head. I've got this longer circle oval for its body. I don't really like the way that the neck's kind of just sitting there. So I know I want to put like a block or something here to help make the neck look a little more natural. And I want some cute little ears and a cute little tail. I can do more detail if I like, but I think that's enough for now. And for the legs, I don't need to do much. I just want to kind of show where they are. So just kind of show where they are, and then we'll talk about how to create the legs, which as you can see, come off of this animal. All right, so let's get ready to build. So we're in our Tinkercad account, and we are going to build the little dog that we have drawn. So for this flat but 3D animal, I want shapes that are going to be flat. I don't want round things. I want, or really pointy things. I want flat objects. So I'm going to look for the shapes over here that are flat, right? The sphere is not going to be good for me. I don't want this cone, but things like the box and the cylinder and the scribble are going to be really great for this project. And I'm going to start with the biggest pieces, which on mine are the head and the body. I'm going to start with the head because I think it's a little easier. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a cylinder because that is the best shape to match the head. And I'm going to first look at the height of this cylinder, and I'm going to decrease the height. It's really tall. I don't need it to be this tall. I'm going to click this little button up here, and I'm going to go into this number, and I'm going to change this to 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch is going to be our magic number for this project. And 1/8 of an inch in decimals is 0.125. So that's what I'm going to put in this box, 0.125. And that is 1/8 of an inch. And once it's in there, it's hard to see here, but Tinkercad will actually convert it into that fraction for you. All right, so here we go. That's going to be my head. I'm not going to change anything else with the cylinder, just straight out of the box. That's going to be the head of this dog. And now I'm going to grab another cylinder. And I'm going to grab it, pull it into my mix here, and resize it the same way. So I'm clicking that middle button, going to click into that one and change this to 0.125. Oops, and it's all the way in the sky. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to push it down. I'm grabbing that little cone, black cone, that's going to drag it down for me. So this is going to be the body, but I need it to be longer. So I'm going to stretch it out. So here we go. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Oh yeah. Oh, this dog is going to be so cute. Okay, stretching it that way. And I'm going to make him a little bit, let's get a little bit less tummy in there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So that'll be my dog. Its head's really big and its body's not as big, which I think is going to look a little funny. And you can see it's got that kind of that V that pokes in. I don't really like that. I want a little bit more natural neck. So I'm going to take a box and I'm going to drop it to the same height, 0.125. Pop. And it's a little bit too big just to fill that gap. So I'm going to make it a little smaller just by dragging. And I know I'm going to want it at a angle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to pull it in. Just in like this. Oops. Okay, let me try again here. Pull it in a little more. There we go. Okay, I like that. That looks a little bit better. It's kind of hard to see because the way that red and orange are overlapping. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, click down to collect all these things in one cursor. And then I'm going to group them. So I'm going to click this grouping button. Boop. Click away. Yay. Oh, I like that. That's pretty nice. Okay. So that's my dog. If I really wanted to, I could play around more with these shapes and get the body a little bit nicer, a little more dog-like. But for now, I think this is pretty good. So I'm going to go on. The next thing I want to create are the ears and the tail. And to do that, I'm going to use our Scribble tool. So we have this really cool Scribble tool. I'm going to pop it on the plane and I'm immediately brought to this other work surface. And here I can draw something that I want to appear. And I'm thinking about that ear. Those ears, right? I want to draw an ear for my dog. I'm going to fill it in. That is perfect. I'm going to use that for my ear. I'm going to hit done. And you can see it's on the work plane where I placed it. I'm going to go ahead and change the sizing of it because I don't want that size. And that's going to be my ear here. I kind of like that. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to use this little duplicate button up in the top left corner between the trash can and the clipboard. Duplicate it. I'm going to use it for the tail. Why not, right? And I'm going to duplicate it again. Boop. And this time I'm going to use it for the other ear. I'm going to just change it like this. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm going to make it be a little like the dog's almost like it's running and its ears are flying backward. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we can just kind of manipulate these shapes however we like. Again, if you're having a hard time seeing this colors overlay, go ahead and grab everything and group it just to get you a clearer vision. Oh goodness, I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm going to keep this for my dog. I'm not adding any other elements, no other layers. Everything's 1/8 of an inch tall. It's working really nicely. Now what I need for this dog are legs. And to get legs, I need to make 2 of these little like H-shaped pieces, which are going to slide into the dog's body when we're done creating it, so that it can stand up and be 3D. All right, so I want to create those legs. They're going to be made of rectangles, but we also need to make holes in the dog's body, of course, to hold these rectangles, just like on our cat. There's kind of these holes. So we're going to make, let's actually make the holes first. That's a little bit easier. I'm going to just go ahead and make this shape a hole. I'm going to change the height of it again, because of course this whole project revolves around 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to go ahead and make that 1/8 of an inch wide too. So I have a stick right now, or whoops, yes, I have a little, this little stick piece. It's 1/8 of an inch wide. It's 1/8 of an tall, or yeah, tall. And that's going to become the body of my dog. I'm going to go ahead and put these in on the dog here. This piece is, I want to see how big this piece is. That'll be important in a second. It's 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to duplicate that hole and I'm going to drag it. Oh, nope. Let me fix this. You know what I can do is just undo. There we go. I'm going to duplicate that hole and I'm going to drag the hole over to here. And now I've got my dog created with the 2 holes for its legs. Now I need, of course, the legs. I'm going to duplicate this hole again. You'll see why in a second. Duplicate, and I'm going to drag that duplicated hole. No, not the dog itself. The duplicated hole up here. Okay, and I was going to save it there for a second. Now I'm going to put the box on that's going to become its legs, the actual like physical part of its legs. I need it to be, of course, 1/8 of an inch. So 0.125, pop, it's 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to make it about 1/2 of an inch. Oh yeah, let's make it about 1/2 an inch wide, or let's make it easy on ourselves. Let's make it 5/8 wide. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we know exactly where the center is in this case. So I'm going to move my hole on to the rectangle I just created. That's going to be where the hole intersects with the dog to hold its legs on. Now I do want a hole on the other side, just so it looks like my dog at the end has 4 legs instead of just two big wide legs. And I'm going to use the same exact hole just because I think that's going to work really nicely for this one. But you can, of course, make your hole any way you like. It can be wider, it can be smaller, whatever you like. And the size of your leg, you can see mine's 1 inch long. The height of this leg or the longness of this leg will be up to you depending on your animal, right? Because some animals have longer legs than others. But now I have this perfect little dog leg. I have a cute little dog that I'm excited about. I am going to go ahead and group this. And I'm going to go ahead and group the H shape for its legs. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, we need 2 legs. You're right, you need 2 legs. So go ahead and click that shape, that H shape, and duplicate it and drag the other leg somewhere else on the pane. And that's all the pieces that you need for your flat but 3D animal. A couple things you still need to do though. And the first, really important, name your project. Name your project something else. So it always gives you this anonymous or this random name for your project. This one's Fantabulous Boo, and we want a name that's a little bit easier to understand. So what I'm going to do is name it my first name, Kim, and I'm going to name it Flat Dog, because this is my flat dog. So I know exactly what it is. I'm going to ask that you all please also follow that kind of naming convention so it's easier for us to keep track of these projects as we print them. And you'll be ready to go ahead and share with me the project when you are ready, and we will print it for you. If you have any questions or issues as you're working along, please let me know and we'll be happy to help. Enjoy.